Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is now coming out. I'm gonna rank all 21 Pokemon we've seen so far from worst to best. Let's start with number 21. At number 21, Palmy is pretty forgettable. While I don't think it's the worst design on this list, I think it's the most predictable and most boring Pokemon in the region so far. Following the electric rodent Pikachu clone pipeline, it adds nothing to the already existing Pikachu clones. Togedemaru and Dedenne have really cool typings. Pachirisu is an S-tier competitive Pokemon threat that won a Pokemon World Championship, and it's a super cute design. Morpeko has a cool gimmick, there's 2 Plusle and Minun, and a Molga can frickin' fly. Palmy? Palmy's just another Pikachu clone this time, but this time, it brings absolutely nothing new to the table, which is why it's in last place. Number 20, Paldean Wooper. It's cute, it just looks like Wooper though, but a regional variant. It's really boring. It's a simple color swap. Wooper is great, don't get me wrong, but it could have been so much cooler. Think Alolan Raichu, Galarian Ponyta. They changed the Pokemon's design in a really fun and unique way. Imagine if Paldean Wooper had a choker made out of dead Voltorbs, or slippers made out of mud. Instead, it's just Wooper with the color swap. Hopefully Paldean Quagsire, if it exists, is a bigger and better change, or maybe a brand new Pokemon entirely and switches it up. Number 19, Miraidon. Yeah, I'm really disappointed with Miraidon as a cover legendary. I could bore you with all the reasons I don't like it, but I'll leave it at this. It's just kinda ugly. I don't like looking at this thing. Its shape, its colors, especially its face, it's just kind of repulsive to me. Now, I will say, many legendaries in the past have grown on me after playing the game, finding out their lore, watching cutscenes with them involved, and seeing them in battle. So maybe I'll end up liking Miraidon. Zacian and Zamazenta, at first I didn't care for them, but after playing the game I did love their design, so hopefully the same thing will happen with Miraidon. Number 18, Smoliv. Look, I love olive oil. I use it on everything, from fried chicken, avocado egg toast, to facial moisturizer. So I have a long list for why I love olives. Sadly, Smoliv does not make the list. Y'all are gonna throw tomatoes at me for this, but to me, it's just an angry-faced version of Budew. Now, to be fair to Smoliv, I do actually like Smoliv more than Budew, but the floor is literally in the underworld. I am very excited to see what the evolution looks like because Budew evolves into Rosalia, a truly fantastic grass-type Pokemon, so I hope the same thing happens to Smoliv. Number 17 is Lechonk. I've never hid my true feelings about Lechonk. I've been honest from day one that I think it's an alright Pokemon that people are hyping up to high heavens based on its 7-letter name that people think is a funny meme. But let's be real, its design is alright. I have no complaints. It's a cute pig with crusty yellow chunks on its eyelids, but it doesn't do the trick for me like it does for everyone else. But it is a nice design. I don't think it's bad. I just think, it's not as great as everyone think it is. Number 16 is Bellibolt. It's fun. It's not a great design, but it's a very fun one. It gives me Quagsire vibes, mixed with Politoed. Just a cool guy that you could go to the bar with, get a drink, and talk trash about coworkers as the night goes by. I'd hang out with Bellibolt whenever he's down. Lord knows he has a lot to talk about with his annoying coworker. Number 15, Cloth. Reminds me of a Gen 5 Pokemon, a good Gen 5 Pokemon. Its design goes back to Gen 1 designs, but with some fun twists and gimmicks, which is what I think Gen 5 Pokemon look like. It's definitely appealing to the eye. It's nothing crazy that I'll catch for my team, but it's a strong design. Cetitan has really grown on me since its initial release. I don't know, the guy who called it ugly and disgusting back in the summer. Okay, that was me, but I've changed. I've evolved as a person since then. I've seen the light. This is a pretty cool Pokemon. Ice types are by far and away the most underrated and deserving of more love, and I heard that they might actually get a buff in this game where they increase defense in hailstorms. So Cetitan seems pretty bulky already, so with this new buff, I could see me using it in competitive battles. Number 13 is Gimmighoul. Sure, it's a little ugly. Alright, it looks like a stinky little bug. I do wish it was more than just a pure ghost type, but now that I got my complaints out of the way, it's a great new addition to the Pokemon universe. Contrary to popular opinions, I'm actually a big fan of gimmick Pokemon, and while it seems a little been there, done that, seems a little bit similar to fellow ghost type inanimate object Aegislash, Aegislash is awesome, and I don't mind them replicating the success of Aegislash with Gimmighoul. Number 12 is Wiglet. Yes, it does look a lot like the original Diglett, but unlike Paldean Wooper, Wiglet actually adds a completely new addition to the Pokemon world that I'm a huge fan of. It's not just a regional form, it's a completely new Pokemon that evolves similar and looks similar to other Pokemon from a different ecosystem. This happens in real life. It's called convergent evolution, and the fact that Game Freak took a real-life science evolution and brought it to the Pokemon universe is pretty cool. Number 11 for Rigorath. Just like its Gen 2 non-evolving buddy, Dunsparce, it's been begging for an evolution for 20 years, and the result is great. It looks like it's wearing a cute warm sweater, and the fire color palette is beautiful. Fidough. I love the concept of a dog made out of dough. I love its fairy typing. I want to collect a bunch of different Fidoughs with different flavors like we did with Alcremie in Sword and Shield. Now that I think about it, Fidough is really just the dog version of Alcremie, and I freaking love Alcremie. This is probably pound for pound the cutest Pokemon revealed so far. I feel bad, but I would definitely eat this thing. Is this even considered to be alive, or is it just food? Is it a living, breathing piece of bread? Weird. Number 9, Grafaiai. I want to go to the same pedicure artist that worked on Grafaiai because all of its greatness is in the colorful toxic fingers for me. It's epic. Game Freak has done an amazing job at being creative with their poison types in recent generations. Nihilego, Salazzle, Toxtricity, Toxapex, and this is a great addition. Koraidon. It takes a good 5 minutes to fully take in the design of Koraidon. There's like a million things going on at once. It looks like Sharpay Evans from High School Musical found a pet lizard and yassified it with feather boas and makeup. I definitely prefer this design over Miraidon. The color scheme is very fun, and I've always preferred natural animal looking Pokemon over futuristic robotic type Pokemon, so I bet you can guess which Pokemon game I'm choosing. Number 7 is Greavard. It's the Pokemon I'm most excited to see evolve. I would love to see it evolve into a gigantic Cerberus, 3-headed monster that's a ghost fire type or a ghost dark type. But what we have now is great. In my personal headcanon, the candle in its head is a Litwick, and I will die on that hill. Number 6, Cyclizar. It's the most underrated Pokemon this generation for me. The fact that it's higher on this list than Koraidon and Miraidon kind of goes to show how mediocre they are compared to other box art legendaries. Don't get me wrong, Koraidon and Miraidon aren't bad designs, but they definitely aren't as cool as Lugia and Ho-Oh, Kyogre and Groudon, Yveltal and Xerneas. But Cyclizar, this dude actually looks like one of Cell's forms before he absorbed the androids in Dragon Ball Z. The design is minimalistic, especially compared to everything but the kitchen sink approach they went with Koraidon and Miraidon, and I love that's the in-between point between Koraidon and Miraidon. Sprigatito is adorable. I don't have much to say on its design other than it's an adorable grass-type cat Pokemon, but I would go as far as to say it is the cutest cat Pokemon ever made. If you've been paying attention, it is the lowest ranking starter from the region for me, but it is top 5, which is fairly high. So Sprigatito fans, don't get upset with me challenge. Number 4, Cerulean Edge. Okay, I don't know how to say this thing. People keep attacking me for it. I don't know. Cerulean Edge? I don't know. Undoubtedly one of the coolest designs Game Freak has ever created. Sure, it doesn't look like a Pokemon, which is a complaint I hate hearing, but it definitely does apply here. Peppa Pig looks more like a Pokemon than this thing, but guess how much I care? Not at all. This thing is freaking sweet. A ghost swordsmaster that has a very wispy, fiery blade. Stop it! The colors are slick. The design is easy to look at despite being quite complicated. I love this thing. But number 3, Armarouge. Yes, I know I'm base. You don't have to tell me. Even though Cerulean Edge is sweet, I do actually like Armarouge better. I know I'm in a very small minority that thinks this, but hey, they are literally number 4, number 3 on my list. So, just like my girl Adele, go easy on me, baby. Because they're both high on the list. Just like Cerulean Edge, this is the swiper of Pokemon. And by that I mean it does not look like a Pokemon. It's ripped straight from the Mega Man's creators' notepads. And guess what? I love Mega Man, so sue me. I'm a big lover of a well-done Fire-type Pokemon. Let's be honest, for generations and generations now, besides the Fire-type starter Pokemon, Game Freak rarely gives us cool Fire Pokemon. In recent years, we got classics like Turtonator and Heatmore. Yay! Despite being one of the most popular types, it's by far the most underutilized type we've ever had, Fire-type. I love the way it shoots fire out of its cannons. I will be using it on my team, no question. Number 2, Fuecoco. It's just freaking adorable. He has a sweetness to him and overall wholesome energy that reminds me of another carefree starter Pokemon from many years ago, Totodile. Yeah, Fuecoco feels like the spiritual, non-blood related brother of Totodile. Silly, fun, enjoys life. He just seems fun to be around. Like he just stand up in the middle of a Denny's at 9 a.m. and sing Christmas carols. The design is very nice too. I love the subtle skull face and allusion it has to a pepper, which makes a lot of sense. It's a fire type Pokemon. But number one, I know, I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm very based. Quaxly. Quaxly has a certain swagger to him that no other Pokemon possesses. He's cooler than the Kool-Aid Man and has the ego of an Eggo waffle with maple syrup imported from Canada. You'd have to be uncool to not understand how cool Quaxly is, and that couldn't be me. I've seen his evolution too, and I won't spoil it, but it's by far my favorite starter Pokemon out of the three, and my favorite starter Pokemon since Gen 5, and it only makes me like Quaxly more. He would be number one even if I didn't know the final evolution, but it only helps. And there you go, that's my list. Please, fight me in the comments. Put down your list. At least put down below your top 3 favorite Pokemon before the game comes out. I'm very interested to know, and I'll be making tons of videos and stream when the game comes out. Alright, see you later. Bye-bye.